We're here and we're trying it.
Dzień dobry, cześć, hello. Welcome, guys, to the Polskast episode 10, the special number. Phil, how are you doing?
Trev, I'm not in my usual place. I'm somewhere else right now.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm going to give you a
kind
little
of
hint
with
where
me.
I am. I don't have my Poland Springs bottle of water.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so we met up, man. It was great to see you.
Yeah.
We had a fun time.
You're shorter than I thought you were going to be.
And I think I said you were taller than I thought you were going to be, right? And then once I posted the picture on the Discord, everyone's like, "Man, you look so short, Trev. You're so short," and all this. Like,
oh yeah,
I'm 6 foot. Everyone. Come on.
Yeah, I saw Chris saying that he expected me to be taller.
Yeah.
Than I was.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, man, I'm pretty tall. I'm like, we're both pretty tall. For people, the average Polish person around here, I think we're fairly tall.
Yeah. So before we get into things, I wanted to announce the giveaway winner on the Discord of the 6 people, the big 6 that entered it. So real quick,
it was me, right? I won.
Yeah, I think you won. The winner is Adam Zisov. Adam, I'm going to be reaching out to you and shipping that out to you as well. So we met in the center of the Stare Miasto in Warszawie.
Yep, that's what we did.
You approached me and you whispered, "Man, he's very short. He's a short guy."
I was hoping, because I was coming, you were facing the other way.
Yeah.
And I was coming from behind, and I was hoping you weren't going to turn around before I got there.
So
I ended up saying...
You knew who I was. You could tell.
Yeah, my wife from like 1,000 yards away pointed you and your girlfriend out.
Why?
She's like, "Oh, there they are, right there." I didn't even see you yet. I didn't know where you were, and then she's like, "Oh, there they are." So I was walking up, and I wanted to say, "Oh Boże, Trev jest w Polsce." It's gonna yell it out while you were facing the other way.
Yeah.
You think you got some crazy fan or something like that. But then you turned around. Yeah.
I was actually worried because it seemed like there was like the mom, dad, and one kid walking around. So I was like, man, am I going to be able to tell them apart? Like, yeah. But no, we met up. Then we went to Magda Gessler's restaurant.
Yep.
That was...
Yep, because we had to have the big moment. We talked about it a few podcasts ago now that we were both going to try tartar together.
Yeah. Yep. We did. Yeah. We said if we met up, we're going to try it. And this was our opportunity, our one shot. Right. So do you want to talk about eating that? I mean, for us, I think for Polish people, like, you have to put yourself in our shoes. For us, raw meat and like a raw egg, it's very foreign to us, right?
Yeah. Yep. And I will admit, here on the podcast, you were a little bit braver than I was, because you ordered your own plate of tatar, and my wife.
See, and I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know that. Okay, yeah.
So my wife, she was dying to eat it, so she ordered her own plate, and I just simply took a couple bites.
Yeah.
Of that one. So yeah.
Okay, so the instructions again, what are they?
So you can put all the egg, basically, egg yolk.
Yes, just smush it like she did.
Or just half, just smush it, mix it,
Okay.
Mix it.
Okay.
Just press it with the fork so it will be like, mixed together.
And you can turn it into a hamburger and fry it, right? Right, yeah, this is like hamburger. Am I mixing the ingredients?
First you can try without it. Just put the egg in. Don't put any... Yeah, you can put some onion in.
Water ready?
You need vodka.
Okay. Just a little bit. There you go.
So, nice.
I don't know what the conclusion is. I don't know.
Would you like to try it with some bread?
It tastes like raw beef. Maybe the bread is buttery spread, right? French toast is something. I honestly don't know if I dig it though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I would go to I wouldn't go to a restaurant and order that.
It tastes like.
Would you order it again?
I mean, if I'm at a party and somebody's serving it, I wouldn't be afraid to eat it.
Right.
Okay.
But I probably wouldn't order it for myself as an entire meal.
Right.
Right.
So I'm not gonna get salmonella, right?
Unless I get the vodka.
You can always sue Magda.
We can find some bar after
Alright,
this.
I don't eat the whole thing, but it's yours.
Don't eat it, please, because this is my favorite.
No. With the bread, it's actually okay.
It's better with the bread.
Yeah, better with bread, for sure.
It's probably better with the bread.
So let's talk about texture, taste, and temperature. Let's go over that.
I think texture was the big thing for me. Because I think we took a couple minute video recording what we did, and it was both like we were both chewing, and it was like okay, and then we're just still constantly chewing, right? It took us a long time to actually get that first bite down.
Yeah, it's kind of like a mushy texture.
Yeah.
It's exactly what you would think. I think, right?
I think that's what I said at that moment. This is exactly what you expected raw beef to taste like.
Before
texture like, yeah.
Before we did this, I was looking up online. I was like, is it safe to eat not just raw meat, but I was looking up, is it safe to eat tartar? And
okay,
there was some websites that were like, if you go to a place that's very respectable, then you're fine. You have nothing to worry about. And then there was other places and sites that were saying, no, stay away. Like, even if it's in a well-respected restaurant, that it could be very dangerous and all this. So, yeah. It was, I thought it was going to be cold.
Okay. Yeah, I guess me too.
But, no, it was kind of like a room temperature.
I guess I'm not surprised that it was room temperature, considering most Polish food is at room temperature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was kind of like raw meat that was left like on the counter and served to us for a while.
And I just remember from the footage we took, your eyes were like bug-eyed like the entire time leading up to it. You were asking my wife a lot of questions about it and everything like that. And I was like...
Because I'm not ready to go to the hospital here.
Genuine nervous. Yeah.
I don't want to make the next
like,
vlog from the hospital.
I was like, I've never seen Trev this nervous.
Yeah.
This is it. That's the nervous face right there.
Yeah. But it was... Okay, so in the moment, I think once I had it just plain, I was like, it's like okay. I wouldn't like go out to order it specifically. But then as I tried it with bread, it was a bit better. And it was kind of like... I think I said in the video, buttery spread.
Yeah, it was like a spread on top of the bread or something.
Yeah, that was okay.
I think I said the same thing by the end of us trying it was, I'm not afraid of it anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm going to go out of my way to, there's tatar here, I better eat some,
Yeah.
It was right down the middle of the road for me, I guess.
And I'm still trying to decide why. I don't know if that's like my, like, just from me, like, thinking that it's just so foreign and I just can't get over that in my head. But because I like sushi, I like raw fish.
Right.
I'll eat that like any day. But I still have a little bit of this wall with tatar. So, yeah.
Well, I guess one of the things we forgot to do was have vodka with it to kill all the anything that was going down with it.
Yeah,
and
but
I think even
wasn't
later
it you that said you have to have something that's like 70%, over 70% to kill it all?
Nah.
Okay,
Maybe.
someone.
I mean, I didn't.
I
say
think
that,
Dave
but,
told me later in the day that.
Okay,
Yeah, Dave told
okay.
me later in the day that you have to have like over 70% alcohol for it to even work, or something like that. I don't know if it's true.
Okay. Because so later that night, my wife was complaining that her stomach hurt a little bit, and we were like, "Uh-oh," right? Because she ate the rest of the plate. But it turns out we went to that Mexican restaurant for dinner that you guys were at earlier, and she had guacamole there, and sometimes avocado bothers her stomach, so
really?
We forgot that she had eaten that. But for there was like a good 30 seconds, we were a little worried about the tatar.
The next morning, I was on the toilet for a while. That's all I'm gonna say. So, And that's another reason why I'm also hesitant for in the future. But it could have been the Mexican restaurant. I don't know.
Yeah.
But not a pleasant experience the next morning. But it wasn't like a full day event. It was just Anyways.
Yeah.
So
we've done it. We
did
passed that exam now.
We did it. We met up, and then this is the special, the 10th episode, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So
worked out well.
Yeah.
It's almost like we planned that.
Yeah. So you're in Poland now. I'm in Poland. I mean, how have you been liking where you're at, and where are you at? You want to tell us the secret location? The secret hideout.
Yeah, I assume by the time you actually edit this, I'll be out of Poland, so that'll be. Yeah, I'm in Białystok, of course. So we're here for 2 weeks. About a week and a half into the trip right now. Mm-hmm. We spent 3 or 4 days in Warsaw. We saw you while you were there. I think you kind of had the same plan for Warsaw that we had. We saw you. We saw one of my wife's cousins, and we saw Piotr from Real Polish.
Yeah,
PO.
Yeah, saw that.
So that was pretty neat.
Did you post that one to the Discord?
That one, no.
Oh, okay.
I mean, our Discord is mostly full of Polish people, so I'm like, I don't know if anybody's gonna really.
You should post it in the Polish learning resources.
Oh,
channel.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah,
so.
I posted the picture of you, or I think after you left Warsaw, you're like, okay, it's clear to post a picture of me in the Discord.
Yeah.
And so I posted the one of the two of us.
Yeah.
And then I know JT from Vigo's dad was constantly messaging us. What are you guys doing? What are you doing right now?
Yeah, what's up?
He was upset that he wasn't here.
Yeah.
He's like, send me a picture. I need to know what's going on.
Dude, that would have been an epic meetup if he was there too.
Yeah. One of these times we'll have to make it so all three of us are here.
Yeah, it'll happen. For sure. So
no, but so far it's been good. The weather's not been the best, but I've heard it's like 100 degrees back home right now. So
yeah,
I'm definitely enjoying the weather, the cooler weather that they have here. It's rained a lot. We've been here maybe 2 or 3 days have been sunny, but it's not like a huge storm. Most of the day it's not a huge storm. It's just like a little drizzle here.
Yeah,
and there.
A little
you
something.
You can even walk around in it. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's good to be back. It's been 2 years, almost 2 years since I've been here. It was like Christmas 2019.
Okay.
Was the last time I was here.
Yeah.
The biggest surprise I've had so far since I've been here is I guess everybody here has been watching my channel and nobody speaks to me in English anymore.
Yeah.
At all.
They all know you can't hide anymore.
I think the most I've spoken English since I've been here is the day I met with you and right now, recording the podcast. Yeah. Other than that, it's been pretty much all Polish.
That's nice then. Like actually, I bet your level is probably exceeding, right?
It's still hard sometimes to express exactly what I want to say. Mm-hmm. But as far as understanding goes, like every time I come to Poland, I'm, it'll at least have been a year since the last time, and I, study and all that time. But like I said, I think I told either you or JT, when you're sitting at home, you're constantly challenging yourself to improve your level. So you constantly feel like you don't know anything because you're always looking at stuff that you don't know anything about, right? Yeah. So it's always this negative feeling that like, oh, I don't know this. Yeah. And then you get here and you're like, oh my God, everybody's so clear. I understand what people are saying. Yeah. It's like always a big surprise on how much you understand better than the last time you were here. I remember even once when we were in Warsaw, I think we were walking along the Vistula, and you asked me, you're like, can you understand everybody that's walking past us right now?
Yeah.
I was like, yep.
See, and I'm not at that level yet. Yeah. Not there. Like so, I can get the gist of it, but right now I'm not at that level. But I'll get there. Yeah. Yeah.
So very quickly. I've noticed like the whole thing where they say, you're going to learn much faster if you're sitting in a country and the immersion and all that thing. And it's not even so much talking to people all the time. Like I'm constantly, like all the signs are in Polish, right? Yeah. I'm constantly, when I'm walking down like in Warsaw and everything, I'm looking around and I'm reading signs and I'm just like, you're constantly taking in input at that point, right?
And most of the time too, I'm like, what does this mean? Or we'll walk by someone and then I'll say like, what was he mentioning? Or like I'll know like 1 or 2 words that person was saying. I was like, what are they talking about?
Yep.
So
there's more chance to be curious while you're here. Like there's signs that if I'm sitting in America, I wouldn't even bother looking at them, but I'm always reading them while I'm here, seeing if I can understand them and everything like that.
So in Warsaw, you went up the Palace of Culture and Science. Did you do that?
We didn't end up making it. That was the day you, I think it was the day you left.
Yeah.
So my wife's cousin's an actress. And so she took us around.
Do you want to say which one, or we're going to leave that anonymous? Okay. All right.
We're gonna leave that.
Got it.
So she gave us like a tour of the city. And that's so nice. First we went over to where the president works. Or there's like two places. There's one where he works and one where he lives, I think it is. They were explaining it to me, right? And so there's like a huge park in the back of it. Right, so we were walking around there and everything like that.
Can anyone freely go back there?
Yeah.
Okay.
That one, you can. So in this huge garden, there was like restaurants there where, the president will take the like dignitaries and people, to eat and stuff like that. And then there's one, I forget the exact name of it, but there's like an art gallery kind of there that has a restaurant in the back. And this is where I found out that there is a second Gessler who also runs a restaurant. There's a Magda Gessler, the famous one, and there's a Martha Gessler, and they were both married to the same dude. The woman of this place, she's the first wife, and Magda's the second wife. So we got there, and we started eating, and then it just started downpouring. Like to the point where like hail was coming down and everything like that. We sat there for maybe an extra hour and a half,
just because of the
waiting for it to stop raining.
Yeah.
Because we took the bus there and then we walked there at the front of the bus stop. We walked into the garden, and so there was no really wait for us to get out of there, staying dry. And then by the time it finally all finished up, we were supposed to go to the Palace Culture, but everything like. Traffic was a mess at that point because there was a hail. I think there was a soccer match going on. Warsaw was playing.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's just so much going on, and my wife's cousin was like, "Okay, let's just come out to my house," and she lives like, she said with traffic, she lives like almost like between half an hour and hour, depending on traffic outside of Warsaw. And we were like. It was already like 4:00 at that point, and we're like, by the time we get all the way out there, and then you got to bring us all the way back in,
Don't worry about it.
It's gonna be too much. So I mean, it's funny. We ended up not seeing a bunch of stuff we were supposed to see. Like the day I met with
Mission failed. We'll get them next time, boys.
Right. The day I met with you, we walked. Like I said, we walked along the Vistula until we hit the Science Center. Right, and I think that's where guys went off. Right, you guys went off to your thing, and then we went over to there. Tickets were sold out for the day.
No.
We got there.
For real?
Yeah.
Wow. Sold out.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
It wasn't even that late in the day, I think, by the time we got there. It was like 2 or 3 o'clock or something like that.
I wonder if it's because of COVID they have to have some type of...
I imagine it's COVID. They only let so many people in per day or something like that.
But actually, I was there this past winter when everything was all extremely crazy there, and I think we just walked in. Like, there wasn't a max capacity or anything like that. But
yeah, they had like a sign out in the front saying like, that's it for today.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, we didn't really do anything other than, I mean, we met a lot of fun people. Like we had dinners.
Yeah.
Like I said, we ate with Piotr at a Georgian restaurant the first night. That was pretty slick. And then I'll tell you what, walking around with him, if you ever get the opportunity, have him walk you around.
Because he can
Warsaw.
Point at like every building.
He knows everything.
Really?
And he knows what used to be there. And he's, he gave us a really nice tour of Warsaw, walking around and everything like that.
That's cool.
So that was really cool. And, then we got a little bit more, the final. I didn't get any Warsaw information from you, but I got some the final.
Any what information?
From my wife's cousin. I didn't get any Warsaw information from you.
Oh, like me telling you like this building is no, no, and you're not going to get that from me. No, I mean I'm the one asking people.
Yeah, so I guess it ended up being the fun part of the trip was, just meeting people while we were there. And
oh, sure.
Yeah, I guess now again, I'll have to take another trip to Warsaw to actually see the attractions that are there.
No, I know. Yeah, I feel like it's a bit of a must to go up the Palace of Culture and Science, for sure.
Yeah.
It's a cool view.
It's going to be a tough one. My wife is afraid of elevators and afraid of heights, so...
it's not that bad.
That should be a fun one. Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
It's a great view. It's worth it.
Yeah. So I think the last podcast we had, you had just arrived in Poland or something like that.
Yep. Yeah.
So how's it been going since you got here?
Great as usual. Yeah. No, it's been great. Nothing really to add to the last one.
Does it feel like has your mind accepted the fact that you're here permanently yet? Or does it still feel like you're on vacation?
I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't know. I haven't been hit with anything yet. Yeah. Right. So I think JT asked you that question one night on Where We Talk. And I think I said to him, you need to have been here longer than you've ever been here before your brain will switch over and like go, oh, this is different than all the other trips here. Yeah. I mean, I've stayed in, this past winter, I was here for 90 days, which is a long time. And even towards like the end of that trip, I was like, I don't want to leave. I want to stay.
Right.
Right. And I didn't have really any desire to go back at all. And I'm guessing that's how it's going to be this time,
Yeah.
So,
nice.
Yeah, haven't felt anything. I feel great. Like, it's fun to be here. I love it.
Now I want to see you start ordering some food in restaurants on your own. That's the next step I want to see.
And I'm gonna have my girlfriend film that. Yeah. No, the other day actually I don't know if I was telling you this, but it was like, this is like, those moments where you do something really cringy and it keeps you up at night, and you're just like, why did I do that? And I think I was telling you this, but I was in Lublin. I was I think I was ordering just like a drink, like just water, something simple. I was like, czy mogę? I was supposed to say poprosić, and I think I stuttered the way I said it, and I just couldn't get it out. I already had like a few beers, but I just couldn't get poprosić out of my mouth. And it was just the cringiest thing. Like, I eventually got it out, but it was like, yeah. So I'm a little bit scarred by that, but we're going to keep getting through that.
I don't say czy mogę. I just say poproszę.
That's it?
Whatever I want. Yeah.
Okay. What about chciałbym?
Not for food. Usually for food, I just say poproszę. Or sometimes if my wife's ordered first and then I'm ordering, I'll just say I dla mnie. Poproszę.
And for me. Okay.
Yeah.
I was in the Złote Tarasy? However you said the mall in Warsaw with the weird glass, I was there ordering kebab, and I said chciałbym, whatever the plate was, something, yeah. But.
Right. So usually when we come here, my wife usually has business to do. She goes to see her doctors while she's here, or she, like I think right now she's renewing her driver's license.
Yeah.
And so then my daughter and I have to fend for ourselves for the day while she's gone. So her and I have been to a couple of restaurants by ourselves.
Yeah.
And I've had to do it all in Polish. For the most part, I've done all right. I think there was one point some woman came up to me and said something like, the part where you're supposed to say how many people there are, But like, she said something else along with that, and I didn't quite catch it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, table for two, in Polish. And she just kind of smiled at me and she's like, okay.
Okay, yeah.
She's like, okay, yeah, foreigner, yeah.
I went on my own the other day, and I went to like a Stokrotka, and my girlfriend, she was like, She was almost worried. She's like, "Oh my God, my boy is going out for the first time alone to fend." You know, she was kind of like that. It was funny, and it was good up until I think he was asking me if I wanted a confirmation of my receipt of the payment, and like the guy said it, and I was just looking at him, and then I don't even know what I said, but I just walked out. Like I was like,
right.
Dziękuję, do widzenia.
I think I mentioned this to you the other day, in that we've gotten to the level now where people kind of, because we speak Polish, people expect that we're going to understand what they're saying, right? That we're confident enough to approach them speaking Polish, then we should understand what the heck they're saying. And I think I need to check my ego at the door and admit when I can't understand something, and just simply say, rozumiem, or proszę powtórzyć, or whatever, right?
The only problem
most of the time I'm just kind of like, okay, tak. Or I try to figure out if it's a yes or no thing, and then I just say one of those.
Yeah, most of the time I do that, and then they keep looking at me like I wasn't supposed to say that. But
right.
Yeah, the only problem
it happens less and less, but
proszę powtórzyć is that they're going to start speaking in English.
Yeah,
and the other
that's
day,
the problem.
My girlfriend and myself were out at a restaurant, and we, I was ordering or something like that, and she was asking me if I wanted an English menu, and I was like, nie, po polsku. And so yeah, that's one problem I do have with that. So yeah. And
there was
because I'm out in Lublin, there's less of people that are going to be speaking English, like in Warsaw, for example. So actually, it's probably going to benefit me in the long run.
Yeah. There was so that day we were out with my wife's cousin. We went to the restaurant, and she made this big deal that I needed to have an English menu with the waitress,
right?
And I'm like, I don't need it. I don't remember the last time I used an English menu in Poland, Yeah. And they're having a hard time finding it. Like, she had asked them 3 times. They're like, we're looking for it, and I'm like, I can look at the Polish menu, right?
Yeah.
And then they finally delivered the English menu. No. They were having a hard time finding it. And so then she took the Polish menu, and she was explaining to me each item on the menu, what it was, And it was like...
Were you speaking in Polish to her beforehand, or...?
So, usually what I do, and I should probably do this a little bit, is whatever language people speak to me in, I'll respond in that language.
Okay.
Right? So...
See, I respond in Polish when they say something in English.
It's hard for me to do something different than what somebody's doing. Like, even it's hard for me to respond in English when they say something in Polish, right? I'm just like, it's like my brain is switched over to whichever one it is, and and I stick with it. But it was like Polish hospitality meets like my friendliness, I guess. Like, I was too afraid to say to her, I understand all this, and she felt like the need to explain it all to me. So we sat there, both of us, her over explaining the menu to me. Yeah. Finally, I was just like, I'll take that one. Yep, we're good. Okay.
My new role with my girlfriend is, if we're out and about, only Polish menu, everything in Polish, and she can't, like, if someone, for example, the waitress or waiter said something to me and then leaves, she can't translate it right after and say, this is what they were saying. The new rule is only if I ask. So I'm trying slowly but surely to stop the easiness, because my girlfriend will translate and all of that. The other thing is that because I've been coming here for 4 years now, she has it to where she'll hear Polish and then she'll immediately translate in English.
Yeah.
So
it's like a reflex.
Yeah, exactly. At this point, so right now we're trying to stop that. So
wean you off that. So I'll tell you this little thing. You don't know it. Well, when we met at the restaurant, is we were speaking English at the event. Sometimes my girlfriend or my wife and your girlfriend would say some stuff in Polish.
Yeah.
In general, I'm curious now. Did you understand what they were saying?
Yes.
You got the gist of what they were saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But mostly we were speaking in English.
Yeah.
And I think you got up to go to the bathroom and then they started talking some more, right? And I said to the two, I'm like, you two can talk in Polish,
Yeah.
You're talking to each other.
Yeah.
And then your girlfriend said, she's like, oh, you guys are only talking in English because Trev was here, and we were all like, yeah.
Really? All right. Well, the next time we all meet up, it's gonna be only in Polish. Especially because you said you're coming here in 1 year, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I expect you to be at my level or greater in 1 year.
All right, don't scare me
Easily.
now. No, but yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So let me ask you. I don't think this really applies to Warsaw, but I'm curious at Lublin in general.
Mm-hmm.
I assume when you and your girlfriend are walking down the street, you're speaking in English with each other.
Yeah.
In general, are people? You get any stares? When people are, yeah. So what I've noticed is if I'm walking by myself, nobody really stares. If I'm walking with my wife, nobody really stares. If we're speaking Polish. The big thing I notice is when I'm walking with my daughter and she's blabbing away in English, and she speaks loud. She's a kid. She speaks like
What's
a kid,
her default?
English. Definitely.
Oh, is it? Really?
Yeah.
But she's fluent in Polish.
She understands everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think at some point, it gets better the longer she's here. But, she spends most of the year in English.
Yeah.
Or in America, so it's English. But when she's sitting there blabbing away in English, and it's just her and I, people are, like, staring at us.
Yeah.
In Białystok specifically. Mm-hmm. Nobody, there's so many tourists in Warsaw, nobody gives a crap.
When you speak Polish, for example, do they stare as much?
No.
So they're not, latching onto your accent, whoa, is this guy, speaking Polish, and he's,
I think maybe my pronunciation has gotten better because I found on previous trips, I would say something and then my wife would have to say it again because they didn't understand what the heck I was saying. And that's happened a lot less this time. It's specifically that's another thing. Because we've covered this in a previous podcast. Yeah. My mother-in-law told me, knock it off with the ons and the ouns.
Yeah.
She's like, stop. She's specific. I never told her anything about, us talking about in the podcast or anything like that. She was just like, that's enough.
Yeah. And the problem is that when, for example, we learn Polish, the teacher will always say you have to pronounce ow and everything, So, ow, you have to pronounce that. And then once you actually do it in person, then it's like, dude, just stop. It's weird. We don't do that.
It slows you down is the big thing.
Yeah.
You're trying to say a fluent sentence fast, and it slows you down. You can't speak as fast as Polish people do.
Yeah.
Over-pronouncing those things.
Yeah. So, I don't even worry about it anymore. So, yeah, with the staring thing, I don't really know why. We were walking around the city, and my girlfriend says it's either she was saying it's because of the tattoos.
Okay. Is it your soccer hooligan?
Maybe. Do I look like a soccer hooligan? Yeah, but she was saying that might be the reason. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out. So, I was wearing a collared shirt. I don't look like a Sebek. I'm wearing a collared shirt, actually this exact one. And nice, khaki shorts and shoes,
So I've been paying attention, and like I said, that's the only time I can specifically always see it is when we're talking to each other in English. When it's, like I said, just me and my daughter.
Yeah.
Speaking to each other in English. And like I said, I try to keep it down. I don't know, when I'm in this country, I try not to be too loud with English and American stuff,
Yeah.
I was like, I'm trying to blend
let's tone
in
it down,
kind of
everyone.
thing. Yeah. But my daughter still has her, she's a kid. Kids speak loud.
Yeah.
Right? And she's an American kid, so that makes her extra loud. And
Yeah.
she's walking down, these quiet paths. What's this? What's that? Oh, why is he doing this?
Yeah.
Tone it down a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. So, speaking about loud, you went to a football game. and it was.
I did.
Looked pretty cool. Looked pretty loud.
Yeah. Yeah.
How was that?
And it wasn't just a normal match either. This is the second match I've been to for Białystok, and maybe a week before I came over on this trip, my wife's cousin, he texted me, and he's like, "Hey, there's a match on Saturday. You want to go?" I'm like, "Yeah, cool, I'll go." And he's like, "Okay." He's like, "I think I can get us into the VIP box," and I'm like, "Okay, let's do this," you know. So his fiance's father is like a big businessman, somebody
Big
important.
boy. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I think it's like they're a sponsor of his company's a sponsor of the
really?
team or something like that.
Yeah.
One of the littler sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a VIP room. And so we went in like the VIP entrance to the stadium. We didn't get
they have an
down
entrance
like everybody else does. Oh yeah. Like you walk right past the team bus and you go in the entrance where the team goes in earlier, right? They're already in there
that's
warming
cool.
up and everything, but
Yeah.
So then we went up. We went up to the VIP room, and he warned me beforehand. He's like, "Listen," he's like, check your expectations. He's like, "This is not America, right? This is not."
Yeah, it's not like the Super Bowl VIP box or
Right.
something. Okay.
But it was nice. It was it was a room. It had some couches and chairs in it. It had big, huge table full of food.
Yeah, I saw that.
There was more tartar there.
Yeah.
If I wanted that.
Yeah.
There was a refrigerator full of any kind of alcohol you wanted.
Yeah.
And then we went out and we had our little section with the leather seats and everything like that. So it was pretty cool. So
And this is at the top of the stadium? Or was it like halfway through?
I'd say like halfway through. There was people higher than us.
Okay.
Yeah. So we grabbed a couple of beers and we stepped outside, and he's like, my wife's cousin said, FIFA regulations say we're not supposed to be out here with bottles of beer.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you have to have like plastic cups if you're out in the stadium. He's like, but nobody ever enforces it.
And the reasoning for that is
like, okay.
because people throw them or whatever.
It's throwing stuff on the field and whatever,
Okay.
right? So I'm like, okay. So we're just kind of standing there drinking our beers, taking it all in. And suddenly one of the guards, he's like, "Hey, gentlemen, back inside," So we went in and finished our beers, and then we sat out and watched the match.
Yeah.
It was very exciting.
And you guys had a win. Yeah.
They won again, 1-0. So every time I've been there now, they've won 1-0.
It's the luck.
It's a lot of good spirit there. They have the one side of the stadium. It's all like the fans where they have like the drums beating and the guys leading the chants and everything like that.
Yeah.
That in general, I think. Well, it was a Saturday. I was surprised there wasn't more people there, but it was decently filled. But that section is the most filled.
Always.
Like,
hardcore. They always have like their own section, right?
Yeah. And so my wife also, some of her relatives from the village, they were going anyways. Mm-hmm. And so since I was going, there was only a place for one extra person in the VIP room.
Yeah.
So her relatives in the village said, "Okay, come with us, come sit with us."
Mm.
So she was sitting directly opposite of the stadium from me. And she was texting me things like, "Oh, you're going to buy me a nice necklace, Mr. VIP." So it was fun.
Yeah.
So there was a couple parts of that day. So that was the beginning part of the day. And then in the evening, the relatives from the village invited us out to the village to have dinner at their house. And they're like, just come over and have some pizza or whatever. I'm like, okay. So we went out and we had a pizza. But then their neighbor was, he was having a grill next door. And, once they found out there was some Americans sitting next door, they were like, "Come on over." So we went over to them. We met them. This is the first time me meeting them.
Yeah.
We all sat around eating whatever food they had.
I saw that. You
Polish hospitality, sitting there.
Yeah.
Sitting there all hours of the night. They're, some of them wanted to practice a little bit of English, so that was fun. Yeah. And they ended up having such a good time that they invited us over next weekend. So
that's awesome.
Tomorrow, as we're saying now. So tomorrow, I'm going and hanging out with these people that I only met last week and going to their house again for another.
That's cool.
For another.
See, that's what it's all about. Like those magical experiences,
Yeah. So between like the match with the VIP tickets and then like how this evening turned out, it was really one of the best days I've ever had in Poland. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah. It's that Irish luck, man. You got that Irish blood. That Irish luck.
So I'm trying to think of anything else interesting that's happened since I've been here. One, just kind of going back to the Polish stuff we were talking about, is my wife's cousin in Warsaw, the actress. She has a kid, and he's like 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
She brought him with her,
mm-hmm.
and he was funny. So he knew that, my daughter likes Nintendo. I played Nintendo games growing up as a kid. My daughter plays them. So he wanted to talk to us a little bit about this. So he pulled, he didn't have his Switch with him, but he had like
mm-hmm.
a old school like Game Boy Color with him.
Wow,
right?
Really?
And he pulls it out, and he's showing it to me, and he was playing like Pokemon Yellow on it.
Yeah.
So he's going through and he's showing to me, and my wife said he probably was going to want to practice his English a little bit. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's fine. So he was showing me like how far he's gotten in the game and
mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. And so the funny thing is, so in Pokemon, right, they have the gyms that you go to, right?
Yeah.
So you're going through like the bosses right, the bosses are at the gyms. And so I asked him which gym he's at, but I asked him in Polish.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said Siłownia, right?
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, which gym are you at? And he had no concept
it didn't
of what
translate.
I was talking about.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, and I was like, and then I said, gym. And he's like, oh, gym, right? So
yeah.
He knew what gyms meant in the game, right? But he had no idea, like, that those translated, the word translates to, like, Siłownia. So,
yeah.
And then I asked him if he understands what's going on in the game. Obviously, the
mm-hmm.
game's all in English,
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, more or less, he understands what's going on. But then he started asking me, what do some of the moves that the Pokemons do? What does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so I did my best to explain it was specifically a stun spore.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, what does this mean in Polish? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, so his Pokemon also had like the stun spore and had like a sleep move, right? I'm like, it does the same thing. It makes him like, like the sleep, so he can't move for a couple times or whatever. But I couldn't specifically tell him what stun is.
Yeah.
In Polish, but that was fun. So then he handed me the Game Boy a little bit. He wanted me to play a little bit to show him that I'm competent at the game or whatever. So
I think I only played Fire Red.
Yeah, it was a fun little Polish experience. Usually you're dealing with adults on these things.
Yeah,
so it was fun talking to a kid about it,
teaching him how to play. Yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, we've been mostly. Like I said, it's almost gotten to the point where days are very similar to each other. It's, okay, there's a group of relatives we're meeting today. We're going out to dinner with them.
Going out to dinner, right.
Yeah. You get to ask the same questions, the same stories.
Yeah.
You have good stuff to eat, and then, repeat again the next day.
How's the repetitive questions been for you?
I like the questions. It's always the same questions. Do I like Poland? Could I live in Poland? When am I coming back? Right. These are the kind of questions that I get. Last night I was getting the, can I work in Poland? Can I do my job from America in Poland? Yeah. It's those kind of questions.
Yeah.
But like some of there's a little bit of like, they ask my wife the same questions. She gives the same stories back, and it's like I'm kind of getting tired of the stories because I've heard them every day.
Yeah.
For the week, I'm like, oh, here comes this story,
Yeah.
But it's definitely been fun. Probably it's been one of my favorite trips to Poland so far. Like I said, because this time I'm so comfortable here, and I've gotten to do some things that I set up. Like this whole trip to Warsaw was thing I set up. My wife didn't set it up. So just having a little bit more independence and freedom while I'm here has definitely made it more enjoyable.
And that's mostly in part due to you being at such a high level of Polish, right?
Half is just dumb luck and that you happen to move to Poland right before I went on vacation there. But yes, definitely I think like specifically like Piotr from Real Polish. I think me personally, I would have wanted to get to a certain level before meeting with him. I don't want to, like I'm using his material. I don't want him to feel good about his material. I don't want to, you know, he knows I've been using it for so many years now.
Right.
If I met with him and I had to make him speak English the entire time, that would have been kind of embarrassing.
Yeah. Yeah. Were you really nervous about that then? I would probably be a little bit nervous, maybe.
I was.
Because you have to hold yourself to such a high standard, I think, right?
Yeah. Luckily, I don't know about your girlfriend. My wife is definitely a talker. And
my girlfriend and I weren't really
a lot
talkers.
of the conversation. I noticed that actually when we were together.
Yeah.
I was like, it's similar to how we do the podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
They always yell at me that I don't let you talk enough. I'm like, but he sits there and asks questions, and then I give the answers. That's how the podcast works. And it was similar when we were eating. I'm like, my wife and I said a lot of things about ourselves, and you guys just asked some questions.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. When my girlfriend and I go out and it's just us, it's like 50%, are talking. Okay. 50-50. So, yeah.
Yeah. So it was basically like, it worked out well. My wife talks, she asks a lot of questions, so it gave me time to think about what I wanted to say.
Right.
I wasn't having to constantly carry a conversation. I could jump. Yeah. Well, it was like, okay, she would ask like a couple of questions, he would give a couple answers, and then I could jump in when I'm like, I got a question. Then I can jump in.
You kind of load up, right?
Right, basically. It's a little bit easier than having to, because we met with him for, a couple of hours. Yeah. And so to have to constantly come up with questions or interesting things to say for 2 hours in another language definitely would have been hard.
Yeah.
So
any restaurant that you guys went to that you'd recommend, or?
We ate at a Georgian restaurant. That was actually the first time I had Georgian food. Yeah. It was pretty good. I'm not, I can't complain about it. And then actually it was interesting when we were walking down. There was like down in Warsaw. There was like how to explain it? It was like a
Old Town
band of like big band kind of thing, but like one of the guys singing sounded like exactly like Louis Armstrong. And so they were sitting outside one of the stores playing, and a huge crowd there, and like old people are up and doing like swing dancing and stuff like that.
Was this neat. Right next to the Palace of Culture and Science, or no?
It was down that way. It was kind of down that way, not exactly there, but it was heading in that direction.
I think one of those days I did hear Louis Armstrong in the background. Maybe it was. That.
It was basically like if you started from Stare Miasto and then you headed away from it. Yeah. You just kept down that main street, and then you just kept going. Okay. Right. Eventually, like it stops being just tons of restaurants, and then it turns into those few churches that. Church. So that was the one attraction, quote unquote, attraction that we did see when we were in Warsaw, is we went to the church where Chopin's heart is buried.
Yeah, you talked about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was just kind of like you go inside. There's just kind of like a sign saying, Chopin's heart is here, and that was about it. But my daughter was really excited. She was like, I'm finally going to see what a heart looks like. And I'm like, no, that's not how it works.
They put it in like a wax gel. Like an epoxy that just never rots or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. So, I don't know. I guess it doesn't apply so much to you because you were just here like in the winter. But like I said, it's been almost 2 years since I've been here. And once again, I've noticed things that have changed since the last time I've been here. The train to Białystok is much nicer now. It's like this. We took a train from Warsaw to Krakow last time I was here, and that train was a much higher quality than the train from Białystok to Warsaw. Yeah. But now I feel like all the trains are up to the same standard now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really nice. The other thing I've noticed is, and I assume this is because of the pandemic, because this is why it is in America, but things seem to be way more expensive here this time than they were previously.
Yeah, they're all kind of slowly going up in price, it seems.
Inflation is definitely hit here.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
I know it's really in Warsaw more so than Białystok, but definitely in Białystok as well. Like I remember the first time I came here, it was like what you would pay for a meal. Like say you pay $5 for a sandwich in America, right? Like a Subway or $5 footlong. Here it would be like 5 zloty, right? So the numbers would be the same.
Yeah.
Right, but because when you translate to dollars, it's way cheaper.
Right. Right.
And now it's gotten to the point where almost like when you convert it to dollars, it's pretty much what we.
It's
would
almost
pay
the same, yeah.
in America.
Yeah. That's especially in Warsaw for sure.
Yeah, specifically. I mean, Warsaw feels like. I was saying this to JT the other night. Warsaw feels like it's gone through like a transformation similar to New York City when like Rudy Giuliani was there and he redid Times Square and everything like that.
Yeah.
Because like Stare Miasto now feels like a huge tourist trap, right?
Yeah.
It's like
funnel
all the
tourists
in. Yeah, and it's like everything's super expensive there.
Yeah.
My wife's cousin and Piotr too, they were like, don't eat in Stare Miasto because the food's not as good there. It's specifically there to, it's overpriced, not as good food because they know it's going to be all tourists there and everything like that. So we got that mentioned to.
Speaking of paying, you paid for my meal, so I appreciate that. Thank you.
I mean, that was Magda Gessler. I guess that was okay, even though that is in Stare Miasto, the one we stayed at.
What did you think of her pierogi?
They were good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't complain.
Yeah.
I didn't think I didn't think they were anything special.
That's how I felt. Like I was sitting there, I was thinking, this is supposed to be special. She's supposed to be back there, making this delicious meal for me, but no. Yeah. If
you're in London eating with Gordon Ramsay's restaurant or something like that, you expect, okay, this is going to be amazing food.
Yeah. And it's just like, it's all right.
Yeah. I know we're bouncing all over the place. Yeah. But I think I just remembered that we saw like a music video being recorded.
Yeah, it looked like Disco Polo, right?
It looked like a Disco Polo video.
They were on the Vistula, and am I supposed to say Wisła or Vistula?
You can say whatever you want, man. You're Trev.
No, but you're the expert in Polish. I'm supposed to ask you questions now. No, but yeah, they were on the river, and they were on a boat right next to like one of the restaurants, and they were all dancing on the top mast, playing around, I guess.
Yeah. And it was weird because like we couldn't hear the music, so we didn't know what's if I heard the song.
It's always kind of cringy actually behind the scenes. Yeah, music videos are really cringy. I filmed a few.
I figured that maybe we'd at least be able to hear it a a bit, so we'd be able to pick up what song is. Okay, let's.
But it was like it was just people dancing to like quietness. Yeah,
it's like 3 or 4 women all just sitting there. They're wearing sailor outfits and they're all
over like one guy.
Like, yeah. Like okay.
When are you gonna meet
famous while you're there?
What's that?
No, I didn't. That's kind of what I got.
What do we say?
Did you see anybody famous while you were there?
Define famous, like
famous for Poland.
No.
Somebody you've seen on TV?
No.
Okay. I saw. There was the woman. I don't know if you know her. She's she's Polish, but she mostly dances in America. But she's on that like You Think You Can Dance.
Okay.
Show. I think her name's like Ada or something like that.
Okay.
I saw her like walking down the street. It looks like she had like her family. A similar kind of situation as my wife's cousin. She had her family around her and then she was explaining what was going on. But she had her sunglasses on to try to hide her a little bit. And they were all like circled around her kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, that's her. So we asked my wife's cousin about it, how it is to be, an actress and to go around. Because she's like, oh yeah, we'll go get on the bus and we'll go whatever. And we're like, can you get on the bus?
Right, right.
People don't recognize you? And she's like, She's like, most people in Warsaw don't care.
Really?
She's like, when it's people outside, like, coming from other parts of Poland, they'll ask for a picture. She said, I prefer that people come up and ask me a picture versus taking a picture from
and be kind of creepy and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I was, because at some point her and I were talking. My wife went up to the bathroom or something like that, and now so I was talking to her, and I said, it's just strange. I'm like, you're on TV, and here I am walking around Poland with you, and I'm like, because this would never happen in America, with American Hollywood stars. And she was talking about, she's like, she's like, in her opinion, like stars in America get inflated to much bigger than they actually are.
Yeah.
Because that makes more money that way, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm like, that's actually a good point. She's like, but it's all the same craft or whatever.
Yeah, I think I probably don't watch enough Polish TV. because I think the only Polish celebrity I've ever seen is Magda Gessler. I know we keep talking about her. We're done talking about her after this episode, by the way. But yeah, I've only seen her, and that's it. Yeah, okay. But I probably don't watch enough Polish TV to recognize enough of them. I only know like a handful.
So from the shows I've watched, I've noticed that there's like a handful of really famous people, and it feels like every show I watch,
it's the same
one of them from that group pops up on those shows and everything like that.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm like, oh, he's on here. Oh, she's on this one. You know,
it's kind of weird too because it's like they're all in this like cross universe and stuff, and it's like it's kind of weird because I picture that person in this style, and then they're in this other opposite style. It's kind of like Daniel Radcliffe or like Harry Potter. If he goes in something else, it's kind of weird because it's like, no, that's Harry Potter.
It's how you can tell when somebody's a good actor. I think.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like there was one guy on Em Jak Miłość. He was a real asshole on that show.
Yeah.
And now I see him on any other show, and I'm just like, oh, this dude right here. He could be playing the nicest guy in another shoot, but my feeling, like my anger towards him immediately pops up. Right?
Like, what do you have planned? Anything special?
Yeah, so we got this weekend left, and then Monday and Tuesday, and then I fly back on next Wednesday. So the weekend, I think this is the reason why we're recording this today, is I'm going to be out in the village for the weekend.
Yeah,
the internet is pretty terrible out there. You have the best time, but the internet is terrible, which I guess is maybe that's why I'm having such a good time, right?
That's exactly why.
So it'd be good. So one of my wife's cousins lives out there, and then we have like my wife has a plot of land out there that usually we'll go hang out for a little bit and visit. At some point I'll have to get into that a little bit because it's pretty nice. I have some stories about that, but we'll get into that another time. Probably Monday and Tuesday is going to be shopping, seeing how much stuff we can fit into our suitcases on the way back.
Souvenirs or just stuff from here.
My MPIC card.
Yeah.
I got to go buy some stuff from MPIC.
That's cool.
They have a
good app. They have a very clean app. Have you tried it?
Yeah. Yes. So from America, you can buy their books. Their Kindle books.
Yeah.
So my Kindle is full of a bunch of Polish books.
I find it better than Audioteka, actually. MPIC.
I wish I could find a place that had both things in an accessible way that I could load them into Link. Like if I could get the audio and the text into Link, that would be awesome.
Can you try that from MPIC Go, the app?
So the books, I haven't tried it from MPIC Go yet, but the books that I've bought from MPIC, they let you just download the EPUB or the Mobi file or whatever, and you can upload those to
Link.
And I've done that on a couple of books. But then to get like a lot of the books, they don't have the audio as well, or if they have the audio, the file's too big.
Yeah.
To upload to Link. Link has a limit on how big of a file.
Oh, do they?
Be. Yeah, like 100 megabytes or something like that. How big of the audio file can be. But whatever. I'll definitely buy some more books here. I got this as a gift like the first day I got here.
There's probably a way you can compress the audio, actually.
Probably. But I want to actually, they have that, so that MPIC, it's MPIC Go, right? It's like the MPIC Amazon Go. Prime kind of thing, right? Where you can just access all they have like thousands of books and audio files in there. Yeah. You can just access them. Yeah. I need to sign up for that. Maybe while I'm here.
Yeah, I've been looking. Because
I know that Tim, who I had on my channel in my last video, he uses that to do all his reading.
Oh, does he? MPIC Go?
Just a real quick plug for my channel. And all you Polish people, if you want to see a really impressive American-speaking Polish,
that guy
go
is
watch
goals.
my latest video.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's really good. He's now the new standard I need to be.
He sounded like he didn't even have an accent.
Yeah. He's definitely way more crazier about it. Polish specifically.
Yeah.
Language than I am. I bought a couple pairs of shoes already from CCC. I bought the pair that I liked that
the German
you and JT
company.
Hated. Yeah.
Aren't they German?
You hated this. I don't know.
Anyways, what about the shoes?
Yeah, I bought a pair of shoes that both you and JT hated. My wife wasn't too fond of either. And then she went back the next day and bought me another pair of shoes, and she's like, "These are the ones you're wearing, and you can wear your ones that you picked out when I'm not around you." So yeah, we'll probably spend, I want to say, like, Sunday, Monday, at the malls.
Yeah.
Buying stuff.
Well, not Sunday.
Until the suitcases get, not Sunday, Monday and Tuesday. Sorry.
There you go.
Until the suitcases get too heavy, and then that's it. Then you stop at that point.
Yeah.
We already have a lot of stuff for the suitcases because as Polish tradition, everybody who meets up with you and you have a kid, they bring a gift for your kid.
Right. Oh, and okay.
Most of it's been chocolates, which, okay, we'll just eat, she'll eat them while they're here and stuff like that. But there's been a lot of books also, and books are heavy, so
that's great. They're gifting
that should be fun.
Books, though, right? I don't even think people would do that nowadays.
I mean, as a side benefit, I get to use them.
Yeah, you get to learn a little
Polish
bit. All right. Are they all in Polish, obviously?
Yeah. Oh, obviously.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, we'll enjoy the last few days we're here, and then back off to America, and then we'll be hearing all the fun things that Trev is doing in Poland.
Yeah, and then you'll just be watching and missing out, man.
I'll just be the jealous guy sitting in America.
That's exactly what I was thinking. So, is that a wrap?
Especially, I think you and JT might have a meetup coming at some point.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be upset when I miss that one.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna have to have you on a Skype call. Walk around with you like a little robot and walk around with you. So, is that a wrap?
That is a wrap, my friend.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. That's it for this episode, and we'll catch you in the next one. See you later.